Good morning. Is it Wednesday? Man, I've lost track of life. My days are upside down and inside out these days. I never know what day it is. That's okay. Happy Wednesday! Yay! I don't know why I'm so excited for Wednesday, but I am. I'm in a good mood this morning. Despite the condition of my closet that's stressing me out. All right, let's go ahead and do devotions. March 29th. The land given to Joshua, Joshua 19:49 through 51. After all the land was divided among the tribes, the Israelites gave a piece of land to Joshua as his allocation, for the Lord had said he could have any town he wanted. He chose Timnath-Serah in the hill country of Ephraim. He rebuilt the town and lived there. These are the territories that Eleazar the priest, Joshua, son of Nun, and the tribal leaders allocated as grants of land to the tribes of Israel by casting sacred lots in the presence of the Lord at the entrance of the tabernacle at Shiloh. So the division of the land was completed. The cities of refuge, Joshua 20:1 through 9. The Lord said to Joshua, "Now tell the Israelites to designate the cities of refuge, as I instructed Moses. Anyone who kills another person accidentally and unintentionally can run to one of these cities, and they will be places of refuge from relatives seeking revenge for the person who was killed. Upon reaching one of these cities, the one who caused the death will appear before the elders at the city gate and present his case. They must allow him to enter the city and give him a place to live among them. As if the relatives of the victim come to avenge the killing, the leaders must not release the slayer to them, for he killed the other person unintentionally and without previous hostility. But the slayer must stay in the city and be tried by the local assembly, which will render a judgment. And he must continue to live in that city until the death of the high priest who was in office at the time of the accident. After that, he is set free to return to his own home in the town from which he fled. The following cities were designated as cities of refuge: Kadesh of Galilee in the hill country of Naphtali, Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. On the east side of the Jordan River, across from the Jericho, the following cities were designated: Bezer in the wilderness plain of the tribe of Reuben, Ramoth in Gilead in the territory of the tribe of Gad, and Golan and Bashan in the land of the tribe of Manasseh. These cities were set apart for all of the Israelites as well as the foreigners living among them. Anyone who accidentally killed another person could take refuge in one of these cities. In this way, they could escape being killed in revenge prior to standing trial before the local assembly. The towns given to the Levites, Joshua 21:1 through 45. Then the leaders of the tribe of Levi came to consult with Eleazar the priest, Joshua the son of Nun, and the leaders of the other tribes of Israel. They came to them at Shiloh in the land of Canaan and said, "The Lord commanded Moses to give us towns to live in pasture lands for our livestock." So by the command of the Lord, the people of Israel gave the Levites the following towns and pasture lands out of their own grants of land. The descendants of Aaron, who were members of the Kohathite clan within the tribe of Levi, were allotted 13 towns that were originally assigned to the tribes of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin. The other families of the Kohathite clan were allotted 10 towns from the tribes of Ephraim, Dan, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. The clan of Gershon was allotted 13 towns from the tribes of Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and the half-tribe of Manasseh in Bashan. The clan of Merari was allotted 12 towns from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. So the Israelites obeyed the Lord's command to Moses and assigned these towns and pasture lands to the Levites by casting sacred lots. The Israelites gave the following towns from the tribe of Judah and Simeon to the descendants of Aaron, who were members of the Kohathite clan within the tribe of Levi, since the sacred lot fell to them first: Kiriath Arba, that is, Hebron, in the hill country of Judah, along with its surrounding pasture lands. Arba was an ancestor of Anak, but the open fields beyond the town and the surrounding villages were given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, as his possession. The following towns with their pasture lands were given to the descendants of Aaron the priest: Hebron, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone; Libnah, Jadar, Eshtemoa, Holon, Deber, Ain, Judah, and Beth Shemesh, 9 towns from these 2 tribes. From the tribe of Benjamin, the priests were given the following towns with their pasture lands: Gibeon, Geba, Anathoth, and Almon, 4 towns. So in all, 13 towns with their pasture lands were given to the priests, the descendants of Aaron. The rest of the Kohathite clan from the tribe of Levi was allotted the following towns and pasture lands from the tribe of Ephraim: Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone; Gezer, Kibzaim, and Beth Horon, 4 towns. The following towns and pasture lands were allotted to the priests from the tribe of Dan: Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Ajalon, and Gath-Rimmon, 4 towns. The half-tribe of Manasseh allotted the following towns with their pasture lands to the priests: Tanakh and Gath-Rimmon, 2 towns. So in all, 10 towns with their pasture lands were given to the rest of the Kohathite clan. The descendants of Gershon, another clan within the tribe of Levi, received the following towns with their pasture lands from the half-tribe of Manasseh: Golan and Bashan, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone, and Be-Eshterah, 2 towns. From the tribe of Issachar, they received the following towns within their pasture lands, Kishion, Dabaroth, Jarmuth, and En-Gannim, 4 towns. From the tribe of Asher, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Mishal, Abdon, Helkath, and Rehob, 4 towns. From the tribe of Naphtali, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Kadesh in Galilee, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone; Hamath Dor, and Carden, 3 towns. So in all, 13 towns with their pasture lands were allotted to the clan of Gershon. The rest of the Levites and the Merari clan were given the following towns with their pasture lands from the tribe of Zebulun: Jokneam, Karta, and Dimnah, and Nahalal, 4 towns. From the tribe of Reuben, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Bezer, Jahaz, and Kedemoth, and Mephath, 4 towns. From the tribe of Gad, they received the following towns with their pasture lands: Ramoth and Gilead, a city of refuge for those who accidentally killed someone; Mahanaim and Heshbon and Jazer, 4 towns. So in all, 12 towns were allotted to the clan of Merari. The total number of towns and pasture lands within Israelite territory given to the Levites came to 48. Every one of these towns had pasture lands surrounding it. So the Lord gave to Israel all the lands he had sworn to give their ancestors, and they took possession of it and settled there. And the Lord gave them rest on every side, just as he had solemnly promised their ancestors. None of their enemies could stand against them, for the Lord helped them conquer all their enemies. Not a single one of all the good promises the Lord had given to the family of Israel was left unfulfilled. Everything he had spoken came true. Territory for the Levites, 1 Chronicles 6:54 through 81. This is a record of the towns and territories assigned by means of sacred lots to the descendants of Aaron, who were from the clan of Kohath. This territory included Hebron and its surrounding pasture lands in Judah, but the fields and outlying areas belonging to the city were given to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So the descendants of Aaron were given the following towns, each with its pasture lands: Hebron, a city of refuge; Libnah, Jadir, Eshtemoa, Holon, Deber, Ain, Judah, and Beth Shemesh. And from the territory of Benjamin they were given Gibeon, Geba, Elamath, Anathoth, each with its pasture lands. So 13 towns were given to the descendants of Aaron. The remaining descendants of Kohath received 10 towns from the territory of the half-tribe of Manasseh by means of sacred lots. The descendants of Gershon received by sacred lots 13 towns from the territories of Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and from Bashan, area of Manasseh east of the Jordan. The descendants of Merari received by sacred lots 12 towns from the territories of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. So the people of Israel assigned all these towns and pasture lands to the Levites. The towns of the territories of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin, mentioned above, were assigned to them by means of sacred lots. The descendants of Kohath were given the following towns from the territory of Ephraim, each with its pasture lands: Shechem, a city of refuge in the hill country of Ephraim; Gezer, Jokmeam, Beth Horon, Ajalon, and Gath-Rimmon. The remaining descendants of Kohath were assigned the towns of Aner and Bileam from the territory of the half-tribe of Manasseh, each with its pasture lands. The descendants of Gershon received the towns of Golan in Bashan and Ashtaroth from the territory of the half-tribe of Manasseh, each with its pasture lands. From the territory of Issachar they were given Kadesh, Dabaroth, Ramoth, and Anem, each with its pasture lands. From the territory of Asher they received Mashal, Abdon, Hukkok, and Rehob, each with its pasture lands. From the territory of Naphtali, they were given Kadesh in Galilee, Hammon, and Kiriath, each with its pasture lands. The remaining descendants of Merari received the towns of Jokneam, Karta, Rimmon, and Tabor from the territory of Zebulun, each with its pasture lands. From the territory of Reuben, east of the Jordan, opposite of Jericho, they received Bezer, a desert town, Jahaz, Kedemoth, Mepheth, each with its pasture lands. And from the territory of Gad, they received Ramoth and Gilead, Mahanaim, Heshbon, and Jazer, each with its pasture lands. Boom! That's a lot of names. Oh my goodness. Mercy sakes alive. I don't know, Vicky, some days when I read, I stumble over every word, like every word. And then some days I can fly through those names. I don't know. They are a lot, those names. And the funny thing is, I try really hard to focus when I read. If I'm reading something that isn't necessarily engaging, like those names where I'm kind of just, they're hard to, it's like reading a map, okay, or like reading a user manual. It's easy to kind of glaze over, and I try really hard to focus on what I'm trying really hard to focus on what I'm reading and absorb it and glean something from it. But when it's like reading a map like that and I'm just repeating the names, very often I'm reading those and my brain is over here going, I wonder if I could set up a station at a craft fair, or would they only let me set up a craft? Well, I don't make a craft. Could I just promote my business, or would I have to have a craft to sell? I'm not kidding. That is what my brain is over here doing while I'm reading names. Like, I try so hard to ADD, anyone? All right. March 29th. We are going to read Unshakable. The wisdom of silence. Job 13:15. Though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. If we could only replicate those times we've said just the right thing at just the right time, straight out of God's wisdom. Those times are beautiful and encouraging for everyone. Yet it's wise to admit when it's not one of those times. We can use the gift of compassion, silence, when we really truly don't know what to say. God gives us the freedom to know it all, to not know it all the time. God does not give us the freedom to know it all. God gives us the freedom to not know it all the time. Job, a man in the Bible who lost everything, had 3 friends. When they heard about his unimaginably tragic losses, they met together by agreement to go and sympathize with him and comfort him. Job 2:11. Grieving with and for their friend, these men sat with Job for 7 days and 7 nights. They said nothing. Their very presence with their hurting friend spoke volumes about their compassion and concern. When you don't know what to say, try showing God's love. It will be much more helpful and healing than empty words could be. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. When friends are hurting, Lord, show me how to simply be with them. Give me wisdom and let me be quiet evidence of your love. I think that's awesome. I think, we're fixers by nature, most of us. And so we think we have to jump in and fix when really sometimes it's just being there and praying and showing love. It doesn't mean always action or words, I should say. It doesn't always mean words. Sometimes it's just being there. All right, let me go ahead and read through the chat. It does, Nikki? I've never heard of that. Is it caffeine? I've never heard of that. Squaffy is trending these days. Oh, my word. All right, let's go ahead and end in a word of prayer. Father in heaven, I thank you so much for the day that you've blessed us with. Thank you for Wednesdays. Thank you for this opportunity to gather with these women in your word, even though it's tough reading. Sometimes the section we're reading is just straight up difficult. It's difficult to absorb, to understand, or to just not glaze over. Thank you that your word does not return void, no matter what, that we have the opportunity to read and study the word, and that it will bless us no matter what. I thank you, Father, for the opportunities laying before us today to bless someone else, to be a quiet picture of Christ to somebody else in our life today, bringing love and compassion wherever we see the need or wherever you show us the need. I pray that you'll go before us today and help us to honor you with our words and our actions. Just everything we say and do, may it be surrounded by your love and showing the love of Christ to others. In your precious name I pray. Amen. All right, my friends. All right. Breakfast this morning is going to be something. I literally have Zippo idea. I don't know if it's backfiring Vicky or doing exactly what she intended it to do. Interesting. Sounds like a good reason not to drink coffee then, Nikki. Sounds like one of the very few valid reasons not to drink. There's not a lot of good reasons to not drink coffee. Making the ladies hurt, maybe one. So, all right, I gotta go figure out what abomination I can make for breakfast. And then I'll be live for breakfast. If you have any ideas and they're not complicated, hit me with it. All right, I love you ladies so much. I will see you back for breakfast. Hopefully, if not, I will see you tomorrow for devotions. Have a wonderful Wednesday, guys.